All right, ABC Corporation displays a cash balance of $55,000 on the last day of December of the current year. ABC Corporation's December bank statements show the following amounts. So we have a beginning cash balance on our books of $55,000. That is going to be compared to our cash balance per our bank statements of $48,400. After all of our adjustments have been made, the ending balance on our bank statements and the ending balance on our books should tie out. So let's go through each adjustment one by one and see how these are going to make an impact on either our bank statements or our books. Service charges. So for those of you who have owned a bank account or have had access to a bank account and you monitor that bank account, sometimes you're periodically going to see service charges that are going to reduce your cash balance. So this can be something that you're immediately going to see impacted on your bank statements, but you're not necessarily going to be aware of it immediately. So you're going to have to go back and reduce this on your books. NSF checks. So basically this is going to be standing for non-sufficient funds. You received a check, you added it to your books, but later found out that the depositor or the person who submitted the check didn't have enough funds in their account. So the check bounced. So basically what you're going to have to do is go back to the initial recording of the check and reverse it out. So you're going to be reducing this from your books. Interest income. So generally when interest income is paid out, it's going to be immediately impacting your bank statements, but you're not immediately going to generally be aware of it. So you'll have to go back and add this to your books. Deposits in transit. We received a check. We took it to the bank. We deposited it, but it hasn't immediately hit our bank statements yet. So it's still pending. It's still in transit. We need to go back and add this to our bank statements so that we could tie this out to our books. Outstanding checks are just the opposite. We have submitted a payment. We've submitted a check. It hasn't hit our bank statements yet. So we have to go back and add this to or subtract this rather from our bank statements. So once this is all said and done, we could go and make the comparison to our changes in our books, to our changes in our bank statements. And at the end of the day, if we did this right, our ending balances should tie out. So if we could see here, the reduction from our books starting at $55,000 are going to be reduced by our NSF checks, our service charges, and we're going to add it to our interest income. Ending computation should be $53,300. We're going to compare this to our cash balances, which started with $48,400. We added this by our deposits in transit, subtracted this from our outstanding checks. All said and done, $53,000. These check off. We can use this as a final check, and we know that we did this correctly.